Okay. We're in Romans chapter 7. And we're dealing with today's lesson on judging ourselves. And so we're in Romans chapter 7 and verse
15 and 16.
15 to 16.
I read,
And I want you all to see this. See, this is my Bible. And what lets me know that it's not a reading book, look what it says in very large letters on the cover.
Study.
Is that what it
Study
says?
Bible.
study Bible.
That's why we don't go into it just to read it.
We have to
We
study
have to
it
go
too.
into it to study it. What is the difference in reading and studying?
Well, when you read, sometimes you don't understand it. So when you go into studying, you begin to understand
Anybody
more,
else got what the difference is?
more of what you have read.
Thank you.
With just
How
reading.
do you all feel about
You
it?
get a clearer understanding. If you just read,
Right.
you don't get it. If you just read, you don't get no understanding.
When
That's
you-
right.
Yeah,
that's right.
because when you read, you get pretext.
Mm-hmm.
But when you study, you get context. You get more involved.
Right. You see, when you read it, you're only covering the surface of what you're reading. But when you study it, you're getting in depth. And that's what we need. We need to get in depth into the scripture so we will be able to see it in different ways. Yeah. Naturally as well as spiritually, right?
Right.
Okay. Did we read 15 and 16?
We read 15, but I didn't read 16.
Read 15 one more time.
If then I do what I will not do, I agree with the law that it is good.
No, 15.
No, I read 15 already.
Yeah, I want you to read it again.
Oh, read it over again?
Yeah.
Okay. For what I am doing, I do not understand. For what I will to do, that I do not practice, but what I hate, that I do.
You see? And so this shows you that's what's going on inside of him at this time is there's strife. There's disagreement between his natural self and the spiritual self. See? He said, everything that I ought to be doing, I don't do. He said, but things I hate, those are things I do. Ooh, it's a war on the inside of everybody like that. And it may look at some time that people are at peace or what have you, but the scripture tells you that flesh is going to be contrary to the spirit. Okay? Read 16.
16. If then I do what I will not do, I agree with the law that it is good.
See? Because I do things that I shouldn't be doing, I'm in agreement with the law that
It
it's
is
good. And the law is telling me that I should follow after the spiritual side things. Yeah. And they'll work better for me. Okay. Just read 18 for me.
What about 17?
17.
But now, it is no longer I who do it, but sin that dwells in me.
And what did we say the word dwells mean?
Continuous.
Mean to live in.
Continue.
See? We may not want it in there, Reed, but it was born in there. And that's how it's living in there. I wish I could grab it and just throw it out of there, but can't do it that way. See? He said, it's no longer I that do it, says Finley, but it's sin that's continually. Anytime you see T-H-E, T-H-S, T-H, any of those kind of ways connected to any word, it means continuously. He says sin that's continually living in me. Wow. Okay, Joe.
For I know that in me, that is, in my flesh, nothing good dwells. For to will is present with me, but how to perform what is good I do not find.
Look what he said. That which dwells in me, Father, he said, is what? It's not a good thing. How many of us satisfied with having not good things dwelling within us? No one is.
Well, you shouldn't be, you know, we shouldn't.
Not contented with it. Yeah. We'd rather have good things, wouldn't we?
Right.
But he said, no good thing lives in there. He didn't say some. None. Wow. It lets me know it's good for us to get together and take inventory of ourselves. Huh?
Right. Yeah, right.
If I'm really not concerned about self, Michelle, I ain't gonna do it. But you really have to get one-on-one with self, knowing nothing good is in there, and you're gonna have to deal with it. Ain't that right?
Right.
And then allow the Lord to deal with it also. And things will go so much better for us. Okay, let's take so we said, when we realize that nothing good dwells in us and we hand it over to God, we're treating the cause. Say that, treating
Treating
the cause.
the cause.
Yeah, we stop treating the symptom and start treating the cause. And that's what's so beautiful about it. Yeah, for years I've been treating symptoms. Yeah, I want to stop smoking. And I stopped for 2 days and started right back. Treating symptoms. See? But when you start treating the cause, I just took a brand new pack of cigarettes and threw them as far as I could. I meant somebody got them, but I treated the cause when I did that. And so for that day, there have been many moons since I smoked a cigarette. I thank God for treating the cause. Okay, let's go in Mark chapter 8, St. Mark, chapter 8. And in St. Mark chapter 8, we want to talk for a few minutes concerning denying ourselves is to take up our cross and follow Jesus. Anyone remember what we said in Luke 14:27? I love it when the scripture says whosoever. I mean, that starts at the top and works its way to the bottom. Whosoever there be of you that does not take up your cross and follow him. So in St. Mark chapter, what did we say?
8.
Chapter 8. Someone read a couple of verses for us, starting in verse 34.
And when he had called to the people unto him with his disciples also, he said unto them, whosoever will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. 35 says, for whosoever will save his life shall lose it. But whosoever shall lose his life for my sake in the gospel, the same shall save it.
Ain't that something? See, so to deny self is to take up our cross and follow Jesus. Once we lift it up on our shoulder, what do we do with it then? I took it up off the ground. Is that far as I got to take it?
You gotta carry it everywhere you go.
Oh my goodness gracious!
You go to sleep, when you wake up, go to school, go to work.
It may be heavy. It may feel like it's burdening me down.
Can't let it burden you down and weight you down.
Can't let it burden you.
See? Why? Because it's your life. It concerns your life. Take up your cross and follow. Why do we have to carry a cross, Michelle? Oh.
Amen.
Isn't that beautiful? Did you hear what she said, Reed? Huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And that's why we have to do it. See? If we want to be like Christ, we have to go through what he went through. He didn't have to go through these things. Ain't that right, Justin? But he did it to show us it can be done. And because he did it, he's letting the church know you can do it. But in order to do it, you've got to have a willing spirit and a made up mind. Oh, come on, somebody. See? Because it may not feel good sometimes. It may not, you may not enjoy it as much with the changes you may be going through. But in the end, it pays dividends. Yeah. See? Whosoever will save his own. How can we save our own life?
You can't say on God.
On the natural side.
Okay.
You can work every day, get married, enjoy your family, have money, do things, all that there, and ain't saved. Died, not saved. You did save your own life. But that's how you're going to lose it when it comes down to going to heaven. See? You saved it naturally and lost it spiritually. He said, whosoever will save his own life will lose it. Because the only way I can save it spiritually, I need to be God. Ain't that right?
Exactly.
And I'm not. So I ain't going to let the enemy try to make me think I am.
Ain't no food out there.
Yeah. That's what I wind up happening. See? Somebody else, 36, 37.
For what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul?
See?
37 says, or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul?
See? What can you do? What can a man do? He can do nothing.
He do nothing.
That's why God did everything for man. Because he knows man can do nothing to save himself.
Save his soul.
See? What does it profit? Gain the whole world.
Yeah.
Wow.
And lose
Lose
his
his
soul.
soul.
To lose your soul. Because everything you gained in the world was natural.
Right.
Nothing is
It's
spiritual.
going to be natural after you go.
You got all the money, all the property, all of this, all of that, all of everything, and die, and your soul is lost. And that's what he's saying. Read the next one, 38. Who read that?
I did.
Okay,
Whosoever therefore shall be ashamed of me and of my words in this adulterous and sinful
Ooh, my
generation,
goodness.
of him also shall the Son of Man be ashamed when he cometh in the glory of his Father with the holy angels.
Oh my goodness. Look how the Lord turned this world, Suspended. He said, whosoever be ashamed of me and my word and this what? Adulterous and sinful generation. I mean, it's not live just some sin. It's sin. It's sin throughout. You understand the way I'm saying it, Father? It's nothing but sin. The world, they that dwell in it, everything in it, everything is saturated with sin. I know the car look good when you get it washed and waxed and all that good stuff, but it was made by sinful hands. Oh my goodness. And the result of that, what's going to happen to it? Over some time, it's going to deteriorate. Come on, y'all. It's the same way when a person goes in the grave, ain't saved. The next time you go, if you dig them up, that body gone. What happened to it?
It decayed.
Decayed.
Wow. And that's the way the world happens. That's the way everything happens. That's the way material things happen. All the money gone now. All the life is gone. Everything leaves the same way. It deteriorates.
Okay, so let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Now, you say sinful hand made the car. What else they saved and they made the car? I'm just
Okay.
saying.
Okay. What if
Elaborate on
they,
that.
what if they saved and made the car?
Yeah.
But the earth is cursed.
Yeah.
Where did the materials come from to make the car? You got to go all the way back to the beginning.
Okay, this and the parts.
Yeah, when the Lord, when he cursed sin and the earth, I mean everything on. Yeah, that's why I said you can wash it and wax it and it look good. But over time you're gonna see little bubbles and stuff start coming up in the paint.
Yeah, okay.
Huh?
Somewhere in there was some sin that got in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was driving my car and I got out, the Lord blessed me to get out, no problems or nothing. But I looked at the back wheel and the tire was inflated to where it should have been, but the front one was half of that.
Right,
So
yeah,
that got
right.
my undivided attention, and I walked over to it and bent down and looked and rubbed my hand over it, and the wire went straight up in my finger. The steel belt broke.
Right.
See? And so that's how the Lord warned me. Don't drive on it because you could have an accident.
Right, you gotta get it fixed.
See? No, get another tire.
Right.
So it just goes to show that when we do things God's way, it works out. Spirit told me, say, check the tire. And so I didn't see anything. I didn't see nothing sticking out of it. I run my hand over it. And when I did read, the wire went right up in my fingers. It's steel, a steel belt. And when it breaks, it just pops up through the rubber. Yeah. If you're driving, your car start wobbling or something, that's a sign that the belt done broke. Yeah. All right, so whosoever there shall be ashamed of me and my words in this adulterous and sinful work. I mean, adultery, with the state that Jesus is describing of this world is so awesome that people are ashamed to try to get away from it, and ain't nobody else doing it. You see people, they satisfied. They laying around, they drunk from sun up to sundown, they doing this, that, and the other, sticking up, shooting, killing people. They satisfied with doing those things, right? That's why Jesus gave this description to the world. Because nothing good can come out of it. Only thing that's good in the world is what? God.
God.
How come y'all ain't saying it? He's the only thing that's good in this world. I don't know about y'all. I want to have something good. I want to be good. Huh?
Right.
Yeah. I know my beginning was rough. I had a reputation, but I thank God that he was able to get me out of that. Because everyone, the majority of young men I grew up with, they're no longer here. But I am. And because I am, I'm going to show some gratitude. Come on, somebody. I'm going to have an attitude of gratitude. Do that make sense? Yeah, I'm going to be somebody. And I can't do it without God in my life.
Right.
And so it's so important that I cease to be one of these whosoever's here in 38. See? Because when Jesus and the angels come back to get us and judge us, I want to be with them, not against them. Huh? Yeah. Remember what we talked about, Matthew 24, about wailing and gnashing of teeth? Yeah. Each one of y'all told me you couldn't stand nobody snoring. Just one person doing it. Or one person, what's the other one, Father? Gritting it all night long, gritting their teeth. Huh? But in hell, that's going to be going on 24/7. Come on, y'all. You hear me, Leah? Yeah. 24/7. It ain't going to be going on sometime. It's going to be going on all the time. And the fire, according to 2 Peter 3:9, is going to be burning where? The fire in hell is going to be where? It's going to be in every man's soul. Ain't going to be burning up the walls and ceilings and all that way where it's going to be. It's going to be in the soul burning forever. Non-stop, no lightening up, no nothing. It's going to be heavy all. Oh my goodness, forever. And I can't imagine that. And I know that's some suffering. I just refuse. I don't want to go through that. I praise God for that. And so, to judge self, when we deal with it this way, denying yourself is to take up our cross and follow him. We went in Luke 14. Anybody remember verse 26? I asked the question, does God hate? And everybody said because he's God, he only loves.
No, he hates sin.
Pardon me?
He hates sin.
Yeah, but I just said, does he hate? And the people said no. And so when we got in it, he said,
Some say it.
yeah. And the people, that's what I said. They said no. And so when you get into it, he said in 26, whosoever there be of you that does not hate your own mother, father, sister, brother, children, and your own life. I mean, that can't be changed.
Does not hate his father, mother, wife, and children.
See? But he's not speaking about literally hating. What is he speaking of? And that means you'll do what? It means that you'll tell your husband or your wife, you can't be number one no more. You got to be two. And that brings a fight on with a lot of people. Oh, come on, y'all. Huh? Yeah, you know what? I mean, there's some people think if they can't be first place, they don't want no place. But when it comes down to God, God has to be number one. And everybody else has to be 2, 3, 4, and so forth. Yeah, and that's the way it has to go. All right, we're going in the letter C. This is lesson 2, and we're going under the letter C. To judge oneself is to lose the self-life. Say that.
To judge self-life
And find the Christ life.
and find the Christ life.
Okay, we're going to deal with it. Let's go in the book of Galatians, in chapter 2. Get it? Say amen.
Sorry. Reverend, can you repeat that? To judge
Repeat what then?
To judge oneself is to lose.
To judge oneself is to lose the self-life and gain the Christ life.
We already did this.
Right,
Did we?
Yeah, it's gonna be the 4th time.
right. You gave us the other seat.
So what we're
Supposed to be
deep?
in lesson
We're
3.
deep?
We supposed to
We
be.
did the whole, we supposed to
So
be in
we're
lesson
through
3.
with it. Okay, beautiful. Oh boy. Okay, so because of that, we did the ENF also.
Right.
Yeah, we did all of it.
Yeah, we
Okay.
did, you said we supposed to be starting at all believers must appear. No,
Yeah, before the judgment seat of
for
Christ.
the judgment seat of Christ.
Okay. 2 Corinthians chapter 5.
Chapter 5, 4. You want to go to 4 or 5?
2 Corinthians chapter 5.
Okay.
Get it? Say amen.
Amen.
Do we have it?
Amen.
Okay. Someone read verse 6 and 7.
Therefore, we are always confident knowing that whilst we are at home in the body, we are absent from the Lord, for we walk by faith, not by sight. We were confident.
Okay. So that's 6 and 7. But now take a peek, Leah. If you go back in verse 2, it says, because we're groaning earnestly and desiring to be clothed upon, which is our house or our body, which comes from heaven. See what it says, Michelle? He said in 3, he said, if so be that clothed, we will not be found naked. We have to be clothed one way or the other. So in 4 he said, for we that are this tabernacle are groaning because we're burdened, not for that which we would be unclothed, but to be clothed upon, that mortality might be swallowed up of life. See? And that's why he said, therefore, we are always confident knowing that as long as we are at home in this body, we're absent from the Lord. Now, we're not absent from him spiritually. Is that right?
Right.
Come on, talk to him. He's in our heart. But we're absent from him physically. This is what Paul is saying. These bodies is our homes. They're not just bodies they live in. This is our home. We live inside of the body. So that makes us what? Spirits. Only spirits come from God. He's a spirit. Ain't that right?
Right.
Amen.
Okay. So that's why Paul is using this type of language while we're at home in these bodies. We don't never come out of this body. We have to do everything in the body, right? So this is our temporary home. And you have to start seeing your body as being there. Because the body is not you. It's just a house you live in. Amen. See? So as long as we're in this house, we're absent from the Lord. And then she said what? Because we walk by faith, not by sight. What did we say faith is? Spell it for me slow. Following, after, Emmanuel, to heaven. That's how we'll get there. Matthew 1:21. His name shall be called Emmanuel, which is interpreted. Somebody say it. Thank you, dear. Which is interpreted, God with us.
God is with us.
Yeah. So that's the reason why we do it. In the Old Testament, Emmanuel is spelled with an E.
E, yeah.
In the Old Testament, New Testament is spelled with an I. So
Right.
we're getting the Hebrew
And the Greek.
and the Greek. Yes. Okay. Someone read verse 8 for us.
We are confident, I say, and willing rather to be absent from the body and to be present with the Lord. 9 says, wherefore we labor, that where present or absent, we may be acceptable.
And so it's so important that we get to a place of being confident. Knowing that you know, that you know, that you know. I mean, once you get up there, the way that you are dealing with this and exercising it, now you come into the place of knowing what reality is all about. Some people think reality is just living in this world and doing
Right.
things. Only thing that's real on this earth is God. Come on, y'all. And that's why Paul says, therefore, we are always confident. If we're not confident, we need to hurry up and get confident. Huh? Because while we're in these bodies, we'll always be absent from the Lord. But the minute we come up out of these bodies, we'll be present with him. The very second we come out. Yeah. See? That's why we labor. We continue to study. We continue to fellowship. We continue to be in relationship with the Lord. We continue to do all the things that we do. This is called labor. He said, it's the same as saying, that's why we labor. That present or absent, we can be assured, Joe, that we'll be accepted of him. Huh? You need to be, if you're not assured, you need to get to the place that you will be. Yeah. See? And that means talking to him. That means praying to him. That means doing things that his people do or does with him. And he's expecting us to do that. Because we owe him. He don't owe us, we owe him for saving us.
That's right.
Because we're in a world that's doomed, and the world don't know it. They thinking everything is happy-go-lucky, and every time you turn up, there's one hurricane finna hit Puerto Rico, another one finna hit Miami, Florida, and another one is hitting the Bahamas. Y'all too quiet. The people don't realize that this world is doomed. And the only one can do something about it. The president can't do it. The Congress can't do it. Senators can't do it. The world can't do it. Can't nobody do it but the Lord.
The Lord. That's right.
And he wouldn't have to do nothing. All he would have to do is speak a word.
Amen.
Just tell it to, what did he do before on the ship? It said the waves suspended was so boisterous and was hitting and banging the ship, and disciples was going off the deep end and everything was happening. And he woke up and just looked up there and said, peace.
Peace be
Oh, come
still.
on, y'all.
Peace be
He still can do that. He ain't lost nothing. Y'all too. I mean, this is what gets me so. Is because I know that he loves me more than I love myself. And that's a good thing. Because we thought in the flesh that we loved ourselves, but we didn't really love ourselves. Not like we should have.
No.
But that type of love just ain't in the flesh.
If you love yourself, you wouldn't have been putting that.
Don't you see it?
Old thing.
Yeah. But now that we've found somebody that truly loves us, we owe it to ourselves to follow him. And what verse was that? We stopped at, Michelle. Huh? We at 9. Huh? Okay. Someone read verse 10 and 11 for us.
For we must all appear before the judgment seat of Christ, that each one may receive the things done in the body according to what he has done, whether good or bad.
Wait a minute. What if I don't want to go there?
You ain't
Now,
got no choice.
I-
Everybody.
He got to go.
Wait a minute.
He got to go.
It's just like today. I mean, I could go to the courtroom. People are being judged in there every day. And if I don't want to go there, Joe, I don't go. Well, here's another judgment.
This is another judgment. You have no choice.
Justice said, we all got to appear there. I may not want to go
You
there,
ain't got no
Good or
choice.
bad.
but I don't have no choice in the matter.
You gotta go.
So you saying everyone has to go whether they want to or not.
Good or bad. You gotta
Lord
go.
Jesus. Huh? And it'll be too late to try to get your house in order. It'll be too late to try to make a brand new start. Oh, I wish somebody could hear that. It'll be too late to do anything. Judgment Day. Because that's the day, Jerry, everything and everybody got to give an account of itself. Huh?
Everything.
The songwriter said, who shall be able to stand?
Yeah. Will be very few.
Ain't gonna be none. Because none will be worthy, but who?
Jesus.
That's it.
The only one worthy to open the door.
See, so when you get to dealing with this here, I mean, Paul is dealing with some heavy drama here. And it's something that you and I got to be a part about. If we haven't been about it before, we got to be about this. Because my thing is, I preached a sermon once and I used for my text, hell is smoking and God ain't joking. So the greatest thing we can do is realize that and say, hey, I need to take a stand here. I need to make a turn here. Because we all have got to appear. Whether you ain't feeling good and upset or whatever the case may be, all is everybody.
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 From where? Past, present, and future.
Yeah.
Appear at the what? Judgment seat of Christ. Don't say Jehovah. Come on, y'all. Don't say Holy Ghost. But all three of them going to be there. But it says Christ because who is Christ? He's the creator. I mean, you can go all the way back to the beginning. He's responsible for everything and everybody down there. And because of that fact, he's the one that's going to do the judging. And you know the good part about it? He's not only going to judge the saints. This is the saints' judgment. But he's going to also judge the world. Those that that aren't saints. And to the ones that didn't get saved, Joe, oh my goodness. Think about
Good
it.
and the bad.
It ain't gonna be no love there. Ain't gonna be no
Right.
peace there. Ain't gonna be no rest. I wish somebody could really get a good look at this. Because it ain't gonna be nothing good there. It's gonna be turmoil, death, and just everything evil and out of whack that you can think of is gonna be at the judgment of the wicked. And that judgment is coming up as soon as we finish this one. And that's why I'm so grateful for God's word that we can study it to the place that we'll be able to answer every question dealing with who, what, when, where, and why. That's the only way you're going to be thoroughly fit to be everything you're being called to be, by being able to answer all those questions. Yeah, and it's going to come through study. This is not a reading book. I mean, I got study on the front of my Bible. The letters are 2 inches tall. That lets me know it's a big thing, a big deal to study. Where did we stop?
10.
10.
Someone read verses 11 and 12.
Knowing therefore the terror of the Lord, we persuade men, but we are made manifested unto God, that our trust also are made manifested unto his people.
Do you all really know the terror of the Lord?
Haven't seen.
Huh?
Haven't seen him.
What do you think about the flood that we had in Sunday school?
Oh, man, that's terrible.
Huh?
That's terrible.
This is a small portion of his terror. See? And what was the promise that came after the flood?
That he'll never destroy the world.
Say it with me. No more water.
No more water.
Fire next time.
Fire next time.
Fire next time.
Ooh. And you thought the water was something? Wait till the fire hits. You already got small examples of it. Tell me how. Look at California.
They having all that
They
fire
fire,
out
they
there.
have
Folks,
fire.
them fires, they can't put them out with airplanes, helicopters, fire hoses, nothing.
Right, it take them days, months.
It just keep on burning.
Yep.
And when you get over in the book of Revelation, in chapter 20, look what I found that really made my hair stand up on my head.
Imagine it did.
And this is what I found, Joe. In verses, in Revelation 20, I found the, my goodness, it is so awesome.
Chapter 14, verse 14.
No, it's right here in,
What?
well, we in 13, it talks about how the death, hell, and the dead were delivered up, which were in them, and they would judge every man according to the work. And after this death, they were cast into a lake of fire and brimstone. Anybody know what brimstone is? Have you ever seen an 18-wheel truck broke down on the highway, or a bus? Something huge, some type of big, huge vehicle like that.
Yeah.
They use flares, don't they? And put them out there on the highway. You take the cap off of it and then stick it to the top of the flare and strike it like a match on a matchbook. And once that fire starts burning, it turns pink, bluish pink.
Right.
And you can take the cap and put it back on there and take it off, it's still burning.
That's like that. It's
Brimstone don't stop burning.
Like, it's like when them things, you know, what they call them, the eruptions of the rock, what it is. Yeah, they keep on burning.
It don't stop burning.
Yeah.
I mean, you throw water on it, it keep on burning. You can, you try to cover it with something, it just keeps on burning. Fire and brimstone. So the Lord is saying, in hell,
You don't stop burning.
it's going to be there. It's a ever burning fire. It don't stop. Brimstone is another word for sulfur. Anybody know what that is?
Suffer.
Sulfur don't go out. If you light it, it look like some white powder, white. It looked like grits almost. But once you light it and it goes to burn it don't go out. You can't put it out.
The volcano,
And so the word brimstone in the Greek form is basically talking about sulfur. Oh my goodness. So it's so important what Paul said, we must all appear at the judgment seat, whether you're sleepy, woke, hangover, whatever the case might be, they got to be at the judgment seat. This is one meeting he's not going to allow anyone to miss. Look how quiet y'all are. Huh? I know it'll make you put on your thinking cap, won't it? But we need to be telling family, friends, enemies, everybody that judgment day ain't for all. And everybody got to go there, whether you want to go or not, whether you agree or not, whether you up for it or not. It don't matter what frame of mind people, places and things are in, everybody has to go to the judgment. Oh my goodness. I try to put so much emphasis on it because look what Paul says. I trust that these things are made manifest in your conscience. We really got to be familiar with this. We really need to know whatever it is we can know about it, how important, how serious, how awesome it is. We need to know about the judgment. See? And not just because we are not going to the judgment of the wicked, but to the fact that maybe we can help someone else not go there. Do that make sense?
Amen.
Okay. Oh, thank you, Jesus. So we stopped at what?
11.
Okay, read 12. Oh, 11 and 12.
Read 11.
Knowing therefore we
Commend.
We read 11, you need to be at 12. But for we commend not ourselves again unto you, but give you occasion to glory on our behalf, that ye may somewhat to answer them which glory in appearance and not in heart. Okay,
So we commend not ourselves to you, but give you occasion to glory on our behalf, that you may have something to answer them which glory in appearance and not in heart. You got a lot of people that think that it's good that they go to church. It's good that they do it. It's good within itself. But that's not going to get you to heaven. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
It's nothing we can do to get us to heaven. The only way we'll get there is because of what? What he did. Right?
Yeah.
See? So when I start renouncing myself, then I can start announcing Jesus. Because before him, I thought I was the king. Y'all too quiet. Come on now. See? And I was a king in my own right, but it's only one true king. I wasn't a true king, but I was a king. All men are come to be kings,
You're the king to yourself.
over you and your
Exactly.
world and your family, but not necessarily, not true kings. because we were sinners. Ain't that right?
Amen.
But today, thank God, we've been saved from sin. Okay, read 13, Sister Philip.
But whether we be beside ourselves,
Uh-huh.
it is to God, or whether we be sold, it is for your cause.
14.
14 say, for the love of Christ constraining us, because we thus judge that if one died for all, then were all dead.
See, and that's how it happened. Because everyone is dead, even though they're walking around on the earth, eating, sleeping, working, doing everything else, they are still dead if they're not saved. Huh?
Right.
They call walking dead.
A lot of walking.
And the only time I heard that when I saw the something on TV about in prison, well, they were getting ready to execute somebody. And they shout, dead man walking.
Dead man walking.
Yeah, he already dead for this, because he'd been sentenced. And so he said, for whether we besides ourselves or not, it's up to God. Because Jesus Christ's love can handle us. It can take care of us. It will constrain us. See? Because this is the right way to do it. If one died for all, then what? We're all dead. Because he died for us and we accepted his death. Now it means we're dead also. With him. Yeah. 15, 5.
And that he died for all, that they which live should not henceforth live unto themselves, but unto him
Uh-huh.
who died for them
See?
and rose again.
And so that's the way it has to go. Whether you can't do it just in your natural self. It's a spiritual thing. And it has to be done by faith, through faith. See? And of faith, in every way. It has to happen that way, or else we'll fall short. And falling short is something that we don't want to do. And this will wind it up here. Psalm 116.
Therefore, from now on, we regard no one according to the flesh, even though we have known Christ according to the flesh.
At
Yet
one time.
now, we know him thus no longer.
See? Because he's not in it now. Ain't that right? And he's saying that's the mind and the attitude we should have from now on, to regard no man according to the flesh. Well, he's the president of the United States. I'm not going to regard him according to his flesh. I give him respect of being a man, a person, but not to regard him according to the flesh. We really got to understand this, because there are people worshiping the president. Did y'all know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Huh?
They got the posters all over.
Fox,
the
you
house.
saying what?
I didn't know nobody worshiping.
Oh my goodness. There are people worshiping everything. What did it tell us about those when they went in captivity in Egypt? Y'all don't forgot that? They were worshiping tree. They would put a tree next to a stone and say that they would have children. You have to go back into your scriptures and deal with that and see what people, they worship everything on this earth. Men are worshiping women's bodies. They're female goddesses. Did y'all know that?
Yeah.
Huh? Where is that Acts chapter 12? Take a quick look and we're going to wrap it up. Acts chapter 12. And look what it says in verse 1 and 2. It said, now about that time, Herod the king stretched forth his hand to vex or kill certain people of the church. And look what he did in verse 2. He took his sword and killed James, the brother of Saul, of John. Y'all see that? It said, in verse 3 said, and because it pleased the people, he was getting ready to kill Peter also. This is the king we talking about. See? But look what happened. It said, there were days of unleavened bread, and when he came to Peter to kill him, he just took him and put him in prison. But why did he not kill Peter? Anybody know?
Want to save it to after Easter.
Because Easter was fastly approaching. And Easter was a holiday for them. Why?
Why was Easter holiday? Because they were talking about Jesus was born.
Because the God of Easter, her name was Esther. She was a female goddess. That's why you got a bunny that are laying eggs.
Yeah.
That's what they say.
That because the bunny that had the eggs is a symbol for Esther.
It's a symbol for having sex.
Yeah, because of the fertility.
We know bunnies don't lay eggs. Come on, y'all.
And bunnies multiply quickly, so it's all.
But it signifies that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because what do bunnies have?
What bunnies have?
They have baby bunnies.
Baby bunny.
They
don't
have-
have no chickens. They have baby bunnies.
They have babies. They don't lay eggs. So when you see an egg and a bunny, it's just symbols of
Fertility and sex
Yeah.
and stuff.
see? And so the king would have killed all the disciples up because he was the king. But he didn't know that God was not pleased with what he was doing. When he really didn't recognize God because he was serving too many idol gods. And that's what's going on. I mean, in the world, there's just as many female goddesses as there are male gods. And that's why in 2 Corinthians 4:4, it lets you know that Satan is what?
The God of this world.
The God of this world. He's the God of gods in this world. But see, all of them got to stand before the judgment also.
Yeah.
Everything and everybody got to stand before Jesus. Lord have mercy. Yeah. And we got to be ready for that. And so when we come back, we're going to
Lesson 4?
Lesson 4?
Yeah.
No, we're in 3.
I guess he's gonna finish it.
That's the judgment of believers' works. 2 Corinthians 5:10.
Okay.
See? So when we come back, we will finish the introduction to 3 and go right into the first lesson in lesson 3. And there's 3 lessons in lesson 3 that we'll have to go through. And then we'll be in the judgment of nations, we'll be through, and that'll be everyone that was born, past, present, and future will have to go to the judgment, and that'll be the end of the lesson on judgment. 5 lessons on judgment. And it's so important to get it in context and not pretext. Yeah. Thank you.